Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to be undoing some of our 12 GPU rigs and converting them to 14 GPU rigs. We're going to install a different motherboard. We're going to change out the power supplies and make it all work with a B250. So if you think that's interesting, hit like, subscribe, hit the bell. Check out our other social media accounts like Gab, Parler, BitChute, Minds, Twitter, Rumble, and so on, as well as Getter. And if you're looking for someone to manage a GPU or ASIC mining farm, go to cryptollc.org, send us an email. Alright, so here's the situation. We used to have some 12 GPU motherboards here. So we used to have the MSI 12 GPU board. Now we're going to switch to the Asus B250. So this one right here, you can see it has an 850 power supply, 1616 over there. Actually, you probably can't see, but just believe me, it's an 850 right there. We also have another 850 here, 1616. So we're going to switch those out and change everything, since we're going to be doing 14 GPUs rather than 12. Now, the reason why we're doing that is because we had to move one of our clients' rigs to a different location, and because of that, we're gonna have to redo this area here to install GPUs for our other clients. So this is kind of a mix. We're switching over one client and then plugging in a different client. And I'll show you some of the GPUs that our other client's gonna have. It's gonna be these. See, they're all ready. These are brand new Gigabytes 3080 triple fan Gigabyte cards. So you can see a whole bunch of boxes. So we unpackaged them all, got them all ready, and just put them in a couple of empty boxes here. So they're ready to go. So we're going to install these guys. But before we do that, we're going to have to redo these boards. All right, so first of all, let's redo the power supply. So the power supply is now going to be redone. This is an 850, so we're going to get rid of the 850. Plug in a 16. Now, as I do this, I'm just going to talk about stuff, so that way you guys are not just bored watching me unplug some of these plugs here. Alright, so whenever I think of something interesting to say, I'll try to say it. Okay. So here's that 850. He's out. Now let's get ourselves a B250 board, a motherboard, and here's a couple here already pre-made. Okay. Now we have a different power supply plug that goes in there now, rather than our standard that we had for the 850. So we reuse these guys here for that. So we just got all our boxes. You can see a lot of those big empty boxes. Those are the ones that had the GPUs in them. So we need to get rid of those. A lot of garbage. Power supplies on the other side, you see them over there. Those are also power supplies for the new rigs. 1600 EVGA power supplies. Alright, so That's right, I need some zip ties. Might actually have none here. Yeah, that's the sad part about having multiple locations, is that you take a bag of zip ties to one of your other locations and then now they're gone. Shoot. Well, anyway, I'll just do it later whenever I find them. I mean, there's one. So, you see, we used to have one GPU here. So now that's going to be redone. It's going to have more than one GPU. So it's going to have two here and two on that side. So that's going to be redone. A lot of things to redo here. We're going to need another pipe here at the bottom. And one of these pipes here. All right. Like that. So that's in. Have to redo this. Now that these GPUs are running here on the bottom, it's gonna need two of them down here. Redo this. This one's also running down here. Then on this side, we're also running two. So I have to redo that. Okay. Okay, so that's those guys here. Now I need some screws. It's a lot of things to redo when you're actually going from 12 to 14. There you go. All right, so now I can plug in some GPUs here. All right. Oops, forgot to put this guy through before I put in the GPUs. There you go. Just like that. I have to redo these two wires here, power supply wires, as well as redo this over here as well. So a lot of things here to redo. Yeah. Okay, so gotta redo all this. So I'm moving everything over. Okay, don't need this anymore. This can be unplugged. This is then moved over here. This is then placed at the top here. So that means that this guy is going to move right over here like this. And then this is then plugged into here. That'll be strapped down. This will be strapped down. And so on. But like I said, I don't have any zip ties. I have to go find them. So right now we're just placing them for now. This is going to be redone. This is going to be redone. Okay. More zip ties here. So then those two wires will wrap around, plug in there, and one of them go over there. So that's how it's gonna work. So I'm gonna leave that alone because I don't got any zip ties. But let's continue on. So this is gonna go like this. It's gonna get straightened out. It's gonna get straightened out. Now I gotta plug in our power button here into the motherboard. Let me get a flashlight here. Okay. All right, motherboard. Motherboard plugs. As well as the 3 plugs. You need a motherboard plug, you need a CPU plug, then we need 3 Molex. So here's CPU, Molex 1, 2, 3. Okay. We got our SATA plug here. It's a 3-way. Okay, this is incorrect. I need a 4-way plug here. Oh, that is 4-way. Okay, never mind. I just gotta redo this a little bit here. That is a 4-way plug, so we'll plug it in like this. Okay. Then these are plugged in. Like that. Okay. Before I do that, there's a lot of stuff in my way. It really sucks adding or changing anything once you already have all your wiring done. a lot easier to build a brand new rig than to actually redo one from 14 to 12. Takes forever. Okay, now I got my Molex. Okay, so those are all in. I can plug some of these guys in. So GPU 1, GPU 2, so on. A couple of those guys. All right, now I do some power supplies for these two. So I'm gonna need a double VGA and 2 single VGAs. So let's get that now. Here's some doubles over here. I'm gonna get a couple of those, and then I need some singles. Couple of singles here. All right, so let's do this. All right, singles. Gotta bend down these wires so they don't get in the way of the fans. Alright, so those two cards, got everything plugged in, got the risers, they're on power. That says these on the same power, they're all plugged into PSU1, they're plugged into the motherboard. So the next ones I gotta build here is the next 2 more cards here at the top. They're also running 1 double and 2 singles on the VGA. So here's 1 double. And then 2 singles. Okay. So those are plugged in. So this is like this, and then this is redone. Now shift it up here, since these 2 top GPUs are now being run from PSU number 1. So it runs the bottom, these 2 bottom GPUs, then it runs these 2 top GPUs. Okay. Now we need some risers. Just gonna plug them out of here for now. I should have took the power supply for them. Let's just take this one. I'll redo that later. Alright, so just like that. Now that plugs in there, and then this guy goes out here and then plugs in here. Okay, so he's ready to go. Almost forgot that this wire needs to be redone because it's not going to be long enough stretching to the motherboard that I already moved. So he's going to be running a blue one as well. These blue ones are just longer. Just like that. Okay, so these two guys are set up, so now I can plug in some GPUs for them. I'll just quickly get two more here. I'll show you what it looks like after I set up one PSU. So this one PSU is going to be running just 4 GPUs. It'll run more than that because some of the power is required to run the motherboard, as well as power is required to run the CPU. And so we're only going to load 4 3080s on here. So now while I'm over here, I'm going to plug in my Molex, as well as tighten up this power button here. Put them in nicely like this, and then plug in some of the extra power supply that's required for the motherboard that is distributed with a Molex connector. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now I would always zip tie these Molexes together, but I don't have any zip ties right now, so I'll have to leave them like this for now. Okay, so those are all good to go here. It's 3 separate lines of Molex coming in, 1, 2, 3 into the motherboard. Okay, so that's good. Ethernet's in, that's in, CPU's in. Just gotta redo some stuff here, find some zip ties. So as I continue on, I'm gonna do the same thing by powering up these two based off of this PSU here, then start plugging in the rest of these cards, redo some of the power here, like I don't need these anymore, unplug those, throw in a lot of double VGAs and singles, power on all the cards and run them 5 here and 5 here, and after that it's ready to go. I can start powering it on, and then that rig will be set. And then I'll do the next rig, same thing. It's running 850, it ran 12. I'll redo that. This one did not run 12, it actually ran 14. So this one I can just plug it in and turn it on. This one up here is also another 12. I'll have to redo this one. So a lot of redoing, but it's just these couple of rigs. These other rigs over here are a lot faster. Their power supplies are already done correctly. You can see the wiring is already done correctly on them, so they're going to be a lot faster. It's just these 3 rigs, 4 rigs actually, that need to be redone.